In the Ura Valley, Bhutan in 1995, four friends Greg, Fiona, Ruthie, and Paul go hiking on a mountain. Paul hears a strange whistling and falls in a crevice. Greg finds him in an almost catatonic state, staring at a massive and strange inhuman skeleton embedded into the cave wall. The group carries him out and take refuge at an empty house as a snowstorm hits. The next day, Ruthie is chased by the spirit of the creature in the cave. That night, Paul, slowly possessed by the evil spirit, whispers something into Ruthie's ear. The group later finds Paul next to the bridge they crossed. Ruthie becomes dazed before stabbing Greg and slicing Fiona's throat and throwing their bodies over the cliff. She shares an entranced look with Paul before throwing herself off too. In Missouri 2018, former Detective James Lasombra is grieving the death of his wife Allison and their son Henry, who died in a car accident a year ago. He is friends with his neighbor Nora, a widowed single mother. Nora's daughter Amanda runs away, and they find a message written in blood in the bathroom saying, "The empty man made me do it." Amanda's friend Devara reveals that Devara, Amanda, and their friends were encouraged by Amanda to summon the empty man, a local legend. To summon the empty man, you must first find an empty bottle on a bridge, blow into it, and then think of the empty man. Each friend in the group did so. The next day at school, Devara witnesses Amanda whispering into friend Brandon's ear, just as Paul had done to Ruthie in Bhutan. James investigates the bridge and finds the empty bottle. He proceeds to blow on it, just as the teens had done previously. He goes underneath the bridge and discovers the hanged bodies of Brandon and the rest of Amanda's friends with the same message found in Amanda's bathroom. Devara is next killed by the spirit, who attacks her in the steam room of a spa with a pair of scissors. The police rule her death a suicide. James researches the Pontifex Institute, discovering it is a cult that has beliefs originating from places like Bhutan and in tulpas, which he further researches on Wikipedia. He believes he hears the empty man that night and is besieged by nightmares. He travels to the institute and sits in on a talk by cult leader Arthur Parsons. Speaking to Parsons, he is alarmed at the leader's references to the empty man, claiming him to be an entity that provides his followers with what they want as long as they do his bidding. James begins to think he sees the empty man. He follows cult members and investigates a cabin in the woods where he finds files on Amanda, her friends, Paul, and himself. He witnesses the cult performing a fire ritual, but is spotted and pursued by the cult. He suspects that Amanda is now a member of the cult and informs Nora that she isn't safe. He takes Nora to a hotel to hide. It is revealed that the pair were having an affair and he was with Nora when Allison and Henry died. Suffering from hallucinations, James ambushes cult member Garrett and asks him what is happening before brutally assaulting him. Garrett claims that there is a man in the hospital that the empty man is transmitting to the cult from. James discovers that the man is actually Paul, who is in a comatose state and regularly visited by cult members to get messages from the spirit. He finds Amanda in Paul's hospital room, and she explains that Paul is dying from the strain of being the empty man, and that the cult needs a new vessel. She tells James he is a tulpa, a new vessel for the being, and that his memories and relationships were fabricated by her and the cult to ensure the deity's connection through his pain and loss. According to Amanda, James has only existed for a few days. In disbelief, James calls Nora, but she does not know who he is. James breaks down and finds himself in a limbo-like dimension where the entity enters his body. Back in the hospital, James executes Paul. He finds himself surrounded by several members of the hospital staff. They bow to him.